Welcome back. Now let's get to the meat part, which is the clash detection. In order to show the buttons for clash detection, you need to first go to your home and click the clash detected right over here in the ribbon. So some of you guys, when you open the click the clash detection, maybe your clash detective panel is floating somewhere, probably like this, or maybe aligned with the selection tree. So you can actually dock the clash detective panel the place you want. So for example, I want to have tab right over here. So one is selection tree, the other one is clash detective. I can click the top of the panel, and then I'm going to put right over here. Now it's already docked. This is the previous example I ran. This is the previous example I ran. I would like to first delete all and start over. Before you start the clash detection, you will see something like this, and you may not know where can you start. So probably you need to expand your panel a little bit and make sure you can see the Add Test button, and click that. That will give you this kind of interface, selection A and selection B. Then you can use compact. I think a compact would be fine. Then expand this tree, because now the screen is a little small. I am going to close this properties palette here. And this is your selection A and selection B. Basically, when you run clash detection, you have to run between different trades. So the selection A, that means you select some specific trade. You want to run the test again with another set. For example, we would like to run a clash detection between the electrical trade. It looks like we've got two different drawings. Just hold down your control key and select those two drawings. And on the right side, I would like to run this, for example, with a pipe. Let's first just run pipe only, see what kind of results we'll get. And then when you scroll down, you can see some other functions. Typically, I would just use surfaces, and there are other functions. For example, this just says lines, include line geometry in the clash test. You guys can actually look this up, but oftentimes we just use this surfaces. And Navisworks can also run clash detection between, for example, a CAD model versus the point cloud. So the other functions, I don't think we really use that very often. Then let's come down to the settings. So there are different types of settings. So for example, we often use a hard clash. So the hard really means the surface interfere with each other. And then there's another one, it's called conservative, and this one has something to do with the geometry triangles. When you use this hard conservative, typically that will give you a little more clash, but I don't think we really need to get to that kind of precision, because construction always, we can allow for some tolerance on the construction side. Probably we can adjust, so it's not going to be a big deal. The tolerance is basically, that means whenever two objects interfere with overlap with each other for more than this value, that means that will be flagged as a clash. Anything smaller than that, if they overlap smaller than that number, that means it will not be considered as a clash. So this is default. I'm not going to change it. I also would like to explain a little bit about the clearance right over here. Clearance sometimes can be useful whenever you would like to see if there are two objects, even though they are not touching with each other, but sometimes you need to reserve some space between those two objects just in case later on you may use this space for repair or maintenance. In that case, you would like to maintain that kind of clearance. So you can use this function as clearance, and you can also set a tolerance. For example, you would like to keep this apart 3 feet. When you set this kind of a setting, that means even though there are two objects, they're not overlapping with each other, but the distance between those two objects less than 3 feet, they were going to be flagged as clash because they don't meet the requirement as the clearance. Oh, by the way, there's another option. We always put this composite object clashing checked. The reason for that is sometimes there are some objects that could be consist of multiple smaller components and make just one big object. In that case, we would just treat one clash. If you don't select this, when you run the clash, you may see multiple clashes, but basically they just mean the same thing, just one clash. So we'll just keep this checked. I think that's enough explanation about clash detection. I will first stop here, try to make the video a bit shorter. I'll see you guys in the next video.